Hi, I'm Mr. Lambert. I'm here to see Jack Richardson about the murder of Jenna Jones.
Yeah, I'm Sloan. I need to ask you a few questions and take your temperature before you can see him.
Okay. Hi, I was told this beforehand that you were going to do this, and I'm glad you're doing it because I know how dangerous the COVID-19 is, and I hope you're doing this with everybody else that's going to be coming here to be interviewed as well.
Yes, I'm going to take your temperature before you can talk with him.
Okay.
Beep. Your temperature is normal, thank you.
You're welcome.
In the last 14 days, have you had any close contact with anybody that tested positive for the coronavirus?
No, I have not.
I'm going to read you my checklist. Please tell me if you had any of the following symptoms in the last 14 days. Fever, cough, or sore throat.
No.
Shortness of breath, difficulty breathing.
Nope.
Chills.
Nope.
Headache.
Nope.
Nausea.
Nope.
Loss of smell or taste.
Nope.
Excellent. You can go see Mr. Richardson now.
Thank you. I think I'm going to get a little hand sanitizer before I go in.
Good idea. Thank you.
Thanks.
Hello, Mr. Lambert. I want to thank you for agreeing to meet me at your neighbor's residence, Jenna Jones. My name's Jack Richardson. Due to the pandemic, we will be maintaining social distancing, so if you wish to wear a mask, that's fine, but if not, that's okay. These chairs are more than 6 feet apart. Please have a seat.
Hi. There's really no need to remind me of the COVID thing, and I've seen your picture in the newspaper a number of times, and it always surprises me how well you solve the cases that baffle the police.
Well, thank you, but I think it was just dumb luck.
Can you tell me why we're meeting here at Jenna's house?
Now, that's a fair question. I thought this could be a more conducive environment to help jog your memory and to supply some key information that will help us solve this case.
I'll do anything I can to help out. Jenna was such a great person.
You were a neighbor of Jenna's for 10 years?
Yes, I am. Was a neighbor of Jenna's. I used to do some handyman work around her house, and I also used to proofread for her.
Were you romantically involved?
No, I was never romantically involved with her, but I would have jumped at the chance. I think she was with somebody, but I never met him, and I don't know his name.
Did you ever see her entertaining a man here?
No, but there were times when I would hear her speak on her cell phone from the other side of the fence, and I just couldn't help but overhear what she was saying.
Is there anything you heard that might be a clue as to his identity?
Sorry, no. She never used his name. She just always called him G-Man.
G-Man? He worked for the FBI?
I asked her that once, and she said, "No, silly, that means gorgeous man."
Gorgeous man? Okay.
Sorry I can't be of more help. She's been really sad for the last month or so, and I think probably she's been sad because I think the G-Man and she broke up. Just after the coronavirus hit, I overheard her on the phone with the G-Man, and she said, "Even if I had that kind of money, I wouldn't lend it to you." And then she said something like, "I've been such a fool. I can't believe I've been such a fool."
Well, sounds like he was just in it for the money. So I'm going to assume that's a dead end. I'm going to switch my line of questioning. Can you think of any other relationships that might help us determine who killed her?
Well, yeah, she had a brother. I don't think they got along very well at all.
Do you have any specifics about what you witnessed or what you saw or heard?
I think they had an altercation around Christmas time. Her brother, Jude, was also a writer, but he's never been published. I think that he was jealous of her. I overheard them fighting on Christmas Eve when they were in the backyard, and I think Jude had been drinking and gave Jenna a piece of his mind. He did insinuate that she slept with her publisher.
And did she?
Not only would that be uncharacteristic, but she didn't need to do that. Remember, I used to proofread her books, and she was a real writing talent. As far as Jude and Jenna go, I think that they've made up because he visited Jenna not long ago, and when he left, he had a package in his hand. I'm assuming it was a present from Jenna.
Thanks for your time, Mr. Lambert. If I have any more questions, I'll contact you. Hello, Miss Jones. I want to thank you for coming. My name is Jack Richardson, and I'm sorry for your family loss. I'd like to talk to you about your sister. If you'd like to sit down, please. Given the coronavirus, these chairs are more than 6 feet apart, so if you would like to take your mask off, it's all right.
Oh, thank you. You can call me Juliet. I'm so glad you did move the chair 6 feet apart. With this coronavirus, you just can't be safe enough, so I really appreciate that.
You're welcome. I agree with you about the virus. I've already spoken to Mr. Lambert, and he's mentioned something about a family rivalry.
There was a rivalry between my brother Jude and Jenna, but Jenna and I were fine. We were confidants, actually.
If you were confidants, do you know about the G-Man?
I do. That G-Man, he was a piece of work. I felt so guilty being the one to talk her into going on the online dating services. Sometimes those work out for people, but sometimes there are scammers out there, and he was a scammer, I'm telling you. He asked her for $54,000, and as soon as she heard that, she was like, I'm out of here. No more communication with him at all.
If he was so angry that she wouldn't give him the money, do you think he'd have killed her?
Actually, after she refused to give him that $54,000, he moved on. He went looking for his next victim. He hasn't been seen or heard of since, so he's totally out of the picture.
Well, you confirm my original supposition that he's a dead end. So let's get along to talk about your brother Jude.
Actually, Jude and Jenna were rivals since childhood. They were competing for parents' attention. They were competing for their school grades. But to tell you the truth, it was Jude. He was the instigator in all this, not Jenna. He was so jealous of her writing skills, her talent. Her first book, written 24 years ago, A Christmas to Remember, was a wonderful book, and he was so jealous of that.
That's interesting.
Have you read any of her books?
No.
If you really want to know what Jenna was like, you should read one of her books. Her personality shines through in everything that she writes. As a matter of fact, I have a copy on CD of her first book, A Christmas to Remember. So I'm going to leave it on the table for you and let you take a look at that. And I also have her latest. This one just came out a year ago, A Very Merry Christmas. So you'll find out a little bit more about her by reading those.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And getting back to the case, Mr. Lambert mentioned that Jude is also a writer.
Yes, he's a writer, but not a very good one. I mean, don't tell him that, but he just doesn't have the talent. He's been bragging about his new book he thinks is better than Jenna's, but if it's anything like his last, it won't be a success.
Do you think he'd be bitter enough to harm your sister?
I would find that hard to believe. After all, we are family.
Did he ever threaten to attack her?
Not that I know of. Jenna would have told me. Mr. Lambert probably told you about the Christmas altercation.
Yes, he did. Anything you can add?
Just that Jude did apologize for it. However, he's the type of person that thinks if he did something bad, then an apology would make it all right.
Is there anyone else you can think of that would want to harm Jenna?
No, she was a kind person. Everyone loved her.
Well, obviously somebody didn't. Is there anyone that might hold a grudge against her?
No one I can think of. Oh, wait, she did tell me that she was going to change publishers.
Then her current publisher stood to lose a lot of money if she left him.
Yes, her books were all bestsellers.
Well, moving on. I'd like to interview your brother Jude. Do you know where he is right now?
Well, he's been on a trip out of town, although I did hear from him this morning, and he said he'd be back today.
Well, thank you for stopping by. You've been very helpful. You have a good day.
Hi, I'm Jude. You must be Jack Richardson.
Yes, I'm Jack Richardson. I have a few questions for you. Please, have a seat.
Why are these chairs so far apart?
Why? I mean, why? Social distancing because of the coronavirus. I want to make sure everyone stays safe.
I am so sick of everyone obsessed with this virus.
It's better than being sick with a virus. Now, I've already spoken to your sister, and she said there's a rivalry between you and Jenna.
Yes, there's a rivalry. But however, she's the one who started everything.
That isn't what Juliet said.
Well, naturally, they've all joined forces against me.
You sound pretty bitter.
Well, I have a right to be. Do you know what it's like to be compared to your sibling all the time? A better writer, a better at this, a better than that. In a nutshell, I guess she's just better at everything that I could ever even think of.
So you're blaming your two sisters for your misery?
You're damn right I do. Damn right. Besides, I'm gonna get all the glory soon anyway. So why would I want to begrudge my own sister?
Really? How so?
One of my books will be published very soon.
Well, congratulations.
I'll show everyone that Jenna wasn't the only one who could write a bestseller.
Oh, what's the topic of this book?
It's a love story.
A love story. Is this from personal experience?
Why would you even ask that?
I'm just curious. On the advice of Mr. Lambert and Juliet, I'm listening to one of Jenna's audiobooks, and I understand that many of the experiences in the storylines were personal.
Just because we're brother and sister doesn't mean that I have to use her same method of inspiration.
Well, can you tell me something of the plot?
Okay, it's Christmas time. And the heroine finds true love.
Christmas time, eh? That's interesting. You would set it the same time of year as your sisters.
What does that matter? Why? Lots of books come out at Christmas time.
Never mind, never mind. I was just curious. I hear you were out of town. Tell me where you went.
What does that matter? Why do I need an alibi?
Quite frankly, yes. I'm not feeling the love between you and your sister. You have a motive.
Well, I went to Eureka for a few days, and my credit card bills are proof that I was there.
You're getting pretty defensive about this. I didn't ask you for any proof. But getting back to your book, it would have to be good to surpass Jenna's. I've been listening to her Christmas to Remember, and it is excellent.
Really? Really, Jack? You're taking her side and you really don't even know her? This is so typical!
Taking her side. Thank you for your time.
Do you think I did it?
If you did, you'd have to be pretty stupid to act the way you did. If I need to talk to you again, I'll get in touch. Needless to say, don't leave town. Hello, Casey. My name's Jack Richardson, and I want to thank you for meeting me here.
Jack Richardson?
Yes. You can take your mask off if you want. We're more than 6 feet apart.
Well, I'm so glad we're social distancing, Jack. This virus has really gotten me freaked out.
I understand your concern. Now, from what I hear, you've been in the publishing business for a long time.
Yes, a very long time. I'm based in San Francisco. My company's called Casey Publishing.
So how's business?
It could be better.
From what I understand, companies have been hit hard by this virus.
No, my problem is Jenna Jones.
Why? Is she responsible?
She was one of my best-selling authors, made me a ton of money, and now she's going to go to another publishing house.
Why would she do that?
Why else? Money. They offered her far more than I could ever pay her.
Were you giving her her fair share of the profits?
I needed the money. I needed the money.
So even though she wasn't at fault for wanting to get paid fairly, you have a motive for wanting revenge.
Revenge? Nah. I've got an exciting new author. Happens to be her brother Jude. And we're coming out with what I know will be a bestseller called Why Do We Love Christmas?
I heard that Jude wasn't a good writer.
He wasn't. But something has changed. And now I have a bestseller on my hands.
Well, getting back to Jenna, where were you on the night she was murdered?
I was participating in a Zoom meeting on current trends in publishing put on by HarperCollins.
Okay, I'll look into that. Needless to say, don't leave town. Thank you for your cooperation, Casey.
Jack, I'm so glad that we met. You are everything I ever wanted in a man. You're the man of my dreams. I hope you feel the same way about me as I do about you. Jack? Jack? Jack?
Jack? Jack Richardson?
Jenna? Yes, I'm Jack Richardson. I'm sorry, I must have dozed off. So, why are you here to see me? Please, have a seat. We're more than 6 feet apart, so you can take your mask off.
Thank you. I'm Marla Black from the coroner's office, and Captain Walters from the police department thought that I could find you here. I have some startling news for you regarding Jenna's death.
I'm surprised you got the results so quickly. I knew the body was so badly burned that fingerprinting, the dental x-rays, the medical x-rays made it impossible to identify.
That's correct. Since Jenna was a local celebrity, we did a rush job. We submitted samples to a DNA lab and discovered it was not Jenna's body.
It isn't? Then, who is it?
It was her housekeeper, Anna Clark, and there was a missing persons report filed by her family. The lab confirmed that it was Anna Clark who died and not Jenna Jones.
That's incredible news.
Well, this is why I came over to tell you in person. I gather you knew Jenna?
No, I didn't, but after listening to her book on CD and studying about her a lot and talking to her family and friends, I think I do.
You know, everyone that knew her thought she was such a lovely woman.
No, I can tell. I mean, after I saw her photo, I was captivated by her. However, the news that you've told me raises two questions. Why was Anna Clark in Jenna's house? And where is Jenna?
Looks like you have your work cut out for you. Good luck.
I do. I want to thank you for coming over and giving me this news. I appreciate it. So, have a good day. Well, now that I know that Jenna's alive, I feel that I've got all the puzzle pieces. Now, Casey tells me that Jude has a book to be published that's very good. But that's odd, because he's never shown the ability to be a good writer. And Jude was fidgety when I asked him about the plot of his book. He was also very defensive when I asked him where he was the night of the murder. Finally, Mr. Lambert said that when Jude left Jenna's place, he had a package under his arm. Maybe he stole Jenna's new book and was going to pass it off as his own. Well, that makes sense. That's a good scenario. The question now remains, well, What was Anna Clark doing in Jenna's house?
Well, I can answer that. If first you'll tell me who the hell you are and what are you doing in my backyard?
Jenna! I can't believe you're here.
Well, I do live here. Now, who in the hell are you? If you don't tell me right now, I'm going to call the police.
Well, I was going to phone the police myself. I'm Jack Richardson, and I'm helping with this investigation.
Oh, well, in that case, never mind. But what investigation are you talking about?
Don't you read the newspapers? A body was found in your house, and it was assumed to be yours.
Well, as you can clearly see, it wasn't mine.
I hate to be the one to tell you this, but the body turned out to be that of your housekeeper, Anna.
It was Anna? Oh my God, I can't believe it. Oh, this is horrible news. Oh my God. Oh my God, I have to sit down.
Why was she here?
Well, she knew I was coming back today and she wanted to make the house ready for my return. So what happened?
The water heater exploded. We don't have the report back yet, but we suspect foul play. That's why we're investigating.
Well, I really don't think it was murder. I knew the water heater was old, but I never thought it would explode.
So tell me then, where have you been?
I just completed a new novel and I wanted to get away for a while. No newspapers, phones, or computers.
What's the name of your new novel?
It's called Why Do We Love Christmas?
Just as I thought. Your brother stole your manuscript and didn't even bother to change the title, and he's submitted it as his own.
Well, that doesn't surprise me. He always has been delusional. We tried to get him to go for help, but he never would do it. He probably thinks that he really did write it. You know, I wondered where I put that script. I thought I misplaced it.
Your car's been in your driveway all this time. If you were going on a trip, why didn't you drive it?
I took an Uber because my battery was dead. I haven't been driving my car very much because of the coronavirus.
One last question. Where was your housekeeper's car parked?
Anna always walks to my house because she only lives a few blocks away.
Well, you've answered all my questions except for one. Would you be interested in going out for dinner at an outdoor cafe tonight? Socially distanced, of course. I figure after today, we could all use some R&R.
Thanks so much for asking. I would love to go out to dinner with you, especially to make up for how inhospitable I was when we first met. I'm so sorry for that. It isn't every day that I meet a handsome man like you. And I have to say, I think this could be the start of something big.